Welcome to From the Game to Grace, the podcast where real life begins after the final whistle. Hosted by Jarius and Candice Hayes, a former pro athlete and his powerhouse wife. This show dives deep into what happens when the spotlight fades, the crowd goes silent, and the real work begins. It's not just about football, it's about faith, identity, marriage, mental health, family, and learning how to grow through what you go through. From championship dreams to personal heartbreak, Jarius and Candice don't just talk about it, they've lived it. So if you're navigating a new season, wrestling with purpose, or just trying to hold it all together, you're in the right place. Let's get real. Let's heal. This is From the Game to Grace.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Candice, your co-host from The Game to Grace, and
I'm Jarius Hayes.
And thank you guys so much for joining in again with us. So we just go ahead and dive into this subject matter, this scenario, however you want to call it. Just sit back, get your tea, your coffee, sip on it, whatever you need to do, because we're getting ready to get into this scenario. So it is jealousy. And so we're going to talk about jealousy. We'll give you like 3 scenarios of how jealousy can come in and form some things that that really probably shouldn't be formed, but how jealousy can come in. So the first thing is we're going to define jealousy. So Jarius is going to define jealousy.
Jealousy is to feel resentment, bitterness, or hostility towards someone because they have something that you don't. Another one is to be unhappy and angry because you wish you had someone else's qualities, advantages, or success.
So let's kind of be real. It's not always hate. Sometimes it's hurt.
Right.
Hurt that you didn't bet on yourself.
Right. And it's and that's real deep because we talk about people that's jealous of somebody else. We call them haters. But like you just said, it's not necessarily hate. It's hurt.
Yeah.
Because they didn't maybe take advantage of certain opportunities, or they may have underachieved. And so when they are hating on you, or when people are jealous of somebody, it ain't necessarily that. It's they hurt because they didn't take advantage of something they could have taken advantage of. So I think that really defines what it is more so than anything else. It's really hurt.
Yeah.
Disguised as hate.
Yeah, it's dressed up. It's definitely dressed up.
Right.
It's often, so sometimes we don't even call it hate no more. It's dressed up like I'm just being realistic, when you're really being resentful, about, if they might, be shining or, glowing or whatever, or I'm happy for them, but
right. Right. And you don't really know what it took for somebody to be as successful as they are.
That's right. You don't know the
late
nights.
We see the final result.
Right.
But it's a lot to go into maybe what somebody has achieved. And I mean, it may have looked easy.
Yeah.
But nothing is easy.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, you gotta think about, okay, what did they sacrifice? What did they do? How are they disciplined? Their consistency. They may have failed, but they didn't let their failure phase them. They didn't let their failure stop them. So when you see a successful person in a certain area, you really don't know the sacrifice and what it took to get there. So
right. Absolutely. And then here's this thing. Sometimes they say, they didn't change. They changed.
Right.
You know.
And you have to change.
Yeah. Right.
For the better.
Right. You can't go to the next level if you don't change.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a mindset.
And when people say you changed, that's true.
Yeah.
Because you got to.
Yeah. It's your mindset.
You know what I'm saying? In order to reach a certain level of success, first your mentality got to change. Mm-hmm. Then your environment got to change.
Gotta change. Yeah.
And then your everyday, what you look at, what you read, how you think, all of that's got to change.
Yeah. Oh,
so they right.
Yeah, they did change.
You did change, but it was for the better. So, but when somebody say you change, don't get upset at that because you have.
Yeah, right.
You have to.
Yeah, you can't take it personal.
Yeah, you have to. So
yeah, and sometimes I think you know, people do take it personal because sometimes, you know, they don't want the other people to feel bad, but they have this goal in mind, and they gotta achieve that goal.
Right.
So they're just kind of just laser focused on the goal and not, you know, thinking about the people that's maybe on the sidelines.
Right.
So so we have 3 scenarios about jealousy. The first one is when you didn't take the opportunity. The second one is when someone close to you has hidden jealousy. And the third one is when someone else gets selected and you didn't. So the first scenario is when you didn't take the opportunity. So let's kind of, I know, you know, we talked about that, like when you see when the opportunity was presented to you or someone else.
Right.
You was like, you kind of hesitated about it. And then the other person was like, well, I'm going for it.
They went for it.
Yeah, I'm going for it. And so now they've succeeded in whatever area, you know, that they had, you know, to move forward. And now you might be looking on the sidelines, you know, with like,
I wish I should have.
Yeah, you know, resentment.
Right.
So, you know,
and in life, you only presented with certain opportunities. Mm-hmm. When an opportunity is presented to you, it's a short window where you got to make a decision whether you're going to step into it or not. Because those opportunities don't stay open long. It's almost like I can see it like, it's like when you go into a place of business and they have those doors, you open them.
Yeah.
And then they swing, they close behind you. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how opportunities are. Mm-hmm. You know, they're going to open wide, but they're going to close fast.
That's right. Yeah.
And so you got to make up in your mind, okay, am I going to step in this opportunity or am I going to just allow it to, you know, pass me by? Mm-hmm. Because people once people present you an opportunity, they're not going to keep presenting it to you. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't take it, their mindset is somebody else will.
Right. Yeah.
And so maybe you or a lot of people hesitated, but then that one person, they didn't hesitate. Mm-hmm. They stepped in. Mm-hmm. And maybe it didn't start out well, but they stuck with it. Mm-hmm. And they were able to be successful. So, you know, you can't be afraid to step into an open door of opportunity when it presents itself. Mm-hmm. And when you sit back and you watch others maybe step into opportunities that you may have been afraid of or was unsure of, it can make you feel some kind of way.
Yeah, it does. It is a feeling.
Man, I had an opportunity to go to that school, or man, I had an opportunity to take that job, or man, I had an opportunity to do this. Man, I ain't take it.
Yeah.
And somebody else did it. And you having to sit and watch what could have been you.
Yeah. And then you're wallowing in, you know, regret. So I would just say, ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me right now? You know, like what opportunities am I sitting on right now?
Right.
You know, how can I use this to fuel my next steps? You know,
True.
so just don't continue to wallow in it. You know, because you'll always be wallowing in it. You won't be able to move forward.
That's right.
Yeah. So scenario 2 is when someone close to you has hidden a jealousy. Some you discover that someone close to you, maybe a family member or a friend, has been harboring, jealousy with your, through your success. And you thought they were cheering for you, but now you realize they've been keeping score.
Yeah, and that could be
Betrayal. It's like almost betrayal. It's hurt. That can hurt.
It can be
real
hurt.
bad.
And also be disappointing.
Yeah.
Because it may have been a person that you trusted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it may have been a person that you've known for a long time. Or it may have been a person that, man, you thought this person would never do nothing like that. Because, and then you hear people say, well, you got to be able to discern and blah, blah, blah. Everybody getting deep. But you can't, some things you just miss.
Yeah, you do. Right. And especially if it's someone that's been close to you and you've been vulnerable with them.
And to be honest with you, you don't catch everything.
You don't. Yeah. You're not perfect.
You don't catch. A lot of times you can't catch, okay, that person ain't for me, and that person ain't for me. Sometimes you can. And sometimes you can't. And it's hurtful and disappointing. But you can't let that stop you.
Right.
And so but it's when it's somebody that's real close, when it's somebody that you thought, man, I never would have thought that person would feel that way about me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what happens is from that point on, now you become more guarded with people than you were in the past.
In the past, yeah.
Which that can be good, but that can also be bad. Or sometimes you can, put your guard up against people that's really genuine
for you
and looking out for your best interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but when you go through a scenario like that, it's understandable to, okay, from this day forward, I ain't gonna trust nobody.
And you can't do that. That's not fair.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you gotta be aware of okay.
Keeping your distance, keeping boundaries.
Right.
Yeah. And then too, I would say still pray for that person, pray for the relationship, but also, maybe set some boundaries to protect your peace,
right.
As well, because, that it's a feeling and we are human and we do have emotions. So,
right.
And then this scenario 3 is when someone else gets selected and you didn't. So let's kind of talk about that. Let's talk about, someone gets the promotion or the opportunity or the recognition that you wanted, but you didn't get it. And instead of examining why you weren't selected, you're convinced, you're convincing yourself it's unfair. Well, that ain't right. That that's not fair. I was better than them or whatever. But sometimes it could be that you really apply yourself like the way they did.
And sometimes when somebody gets selected before you, and you feel like you are more maybe qualified than that person, a lot of times that it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because it could be that, okay, God has something else for you
to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We looking at, because we don't really know, okay, okay, if you did get put in this position, okay, 2-3 years down the line,
Did you handle it?
This could have been the worst position you could have ever been in.
Yeah.
But you didn't see that
At the time.
And God kept you from that because he knew, okay, if I put you in a position, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to hate your job. You're going to dread coming to work. And you're going to take the stress home. It's going to affect your family life. God saw the total picture when all you saw was the promotion and the money.
Yeah. Then too, the mindset, that's dangerous because you're diminishing what somebody else achieved to protect your own ego. You know, and, you know, you say they got lucky instead of recognizing their hard work and what all that they had to do to get that.
And we're not saying there's not unfair issues that take place. Because we're not naive to think that, you know, for some reason, one person got promoted over on the other. And it wasn't because they were better. It was something else going on.
Yeah.
And
that happens.
And it happens. And in that case, just trust God to handle that situation for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, this was done unjustly. Okay, God, you saw what they did. You saw how they mistreated me. And ask God to handle the situation.
And sometimes you take a step back and you know, maybe ask the question, ask, why didn't I get selected? And I'll give an example. One time, like many years ago, I had turned this bid in for a cleaning contract and I didn't get it. And I was kind of sad. So, they'll send out an email and said, thank you, for the, your time, blah, 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 blah. And so I replied back and I was like, I would just like to kind of know why I did not get selected, And so for me, it was a learning curve for me. Like, did I overbid? Did I have some verbiage in there that maybe they didn't agree with in the in the contract? What was it? So I can learn from it for the next go around, whenever it comes back or whatever, that I can move past that and then work on the verbiage, work on maybe the numbers or whatever. So and they told me, they was like, this and this and this and this. And I was like, oh, okay. So I learned from that. I didn't, wallow around and like, man, I missed that one, So that's just, that's just from my own experience. So I just kind of, wanted to share that.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and a lot of times, but if you look at just, life in general, jealousy has ruined a lot of great relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jealousy has ruined marriages. Jealousy has ruined friendships. Jealousy has ruined, relationships in general, to where jealousy is a destructive. It can be very destructive.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be simple stuff like, let's say a girl is jealous of another girl because her hair is longer, or a young man is jealous of another man because he may be more athletic than or
something simple,
or this person makes straight A's and you don't. I mean, it's little simple stuff, but it starts small.
And then snowballs.
And if you don't guard your heart against jealousy, it can stick with you throughout your adult life, years and years later, and you'll always be known as the person that's always hating on somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it just started with something small.
Small, yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I remember this person, they used to always dress nice. And I always wear the same pair of shoes, but like every week, seemed like they had a different pair of shoes. And you was jealous of that person. Well, you don't understand the miracle that it took for your parents to provide what you even had.
You had on, yeah.
But because you was, and like I like to say, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you comparing, okay, I got the same pair of shoes for the whole school year, but they had different pair of shoes like every month or every week. Well, you know, what you don't realize, how your parents may have struggled
to just get you that one
just
pair
to
of
get
shoes.
what you got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So jealousy starts like in those little small areas like that. And it snowballs to the fact that, you know, you can't even be happy for somebody. Because every time you see somebody, you know, achieve something, it's just, you know, you have this anger or you unhappy about it.
Yeah.
And that's something that you need to take a look at. Because my thing is, if I see somebody successful, I want to learn from them.
Right.
Okay, well, how are they doing this? If I see somebody with some qualities that I don't have, I want to take a look at them, not to copy them, but okay, well, how can I apply some of that to my life? So somebody else's success, somebody else's qualities or whatever, it was never meant for us to be jealous of. I think God put successful people before us for us to learn from.
That's right. Yeah.
And so that's how I feel. But you really have to, and I'm not going to sit here and say I've never been jealous of nobody either. Because I would be lying if I said that.
Yeah.
Because that's not realistic.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's
I ain't gonna
right.
sit here and say I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it made me look within, okay, what is it in me that that's what's the reason why I feel this way, or why I'm jealous of why am I jealous of somebody else? You need to take a look within.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want to be aware of the jealousy that may be, you know, around you and people that you really can't see beyond the surface. But you want to guard your heart. Guard your heart for being jealous of anybody else.
That's right.
Because, you know, the Bible talks about how we are fearfully and wonderfully made. God made us in a way that we shouldn't be jealous of nobody.
Right.
You know, you may be short and you jealous of somebody that's tall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And God has them tall for a purpose.
Tall for a purpose.
And he has you short for a purpose. Yeah.
But just little stuff like that. Man, I wish I was 6'3". You know what I'm saying? Man, I wish I was your size. No, you don't. Can't find clothes. You have to order shoes. You have to do this. You have to do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And so just be thankful for how God made you. And also those people that are successful, learn from those people.
Yeah. Study them. Study like how they became successful.
I don't care if it's your brother, your sister.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times it's like, and in some cases, it's hard to cheer on those closest to you because y'all grew up in the same house.
Yeah.
And now they may be thriving. And not that you're not thriving, but you look at them and be like, man, they doing it. And that jealousy could kick in. And you don't realize, man, that's your family member.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You should be happy for them.
Then too, you know, when you're jealous of what someone else has, or the danger of jealousy is you're essentially saying that what God has assigned for you isn't good enough.
Isn't good enough.
And that is deep. That's so heavy. That is so heavy.
That's right.
Yeah, because we're all here. You know, we are all here for a purpose. Every single one of us have been assigned for a purpose that God has created us, you know, uniquely to do. and you're saying, well, what they're doing, I want to do that, but what you're saying is God has assigned them for that particular purpose, and you're saying what God has assigned you to do, that's not good enough. And that's core.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of step back, fall back, and just get back in line and figure out what your purpose is first.
And see, last week we talked about regret.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see you ruin a relationship because of jealousy, and then in the future regret the fact that, man, I let jealousy creep into my heart and ruin a great relationship that I had with a certain person.
And then you can be so consumed with it, it actually distracts you from your own purpose.
That's it, yeah.
And that's wild.
That's it.
Yeah. So just
I think this was a good.
Yeah.
Because you always want to, last week we talked about regret. This week we talked about jealousy. These are things that you want to guard your heart from. You know what I'm saying? Because jealousy is ugly, man.
It is very ugly.
I mean, it's when you see people jealous of somebody and you looking at their behavior, and you're like, man, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I ain't gonna sit and say I've never been jealous of nobody. However, I can say I recognized it, and I made a decision that I don't want to have that in my heart. I don't want to have it in my heart.
It's evil. Yeah. So how to move past jealousy? Acknowledge the feeling without shame, and just you have to be honest with yourself. You really have to be honest with yourself, just like you were saying.
Right.
You don't want to feel like that. You don't want to be, be like that. And then separate the person from the opportunity. Their success isn't your failure.
Right.
Remember, God has no limits.
Right.
And He's designed you for a purpose uniquely that's just made for you.
Right.
And then just practice gratitude with your own journey. Acknowledge what God has given you and appreciate that and your blessings, and that you're here also to, help somebody, to bless somebody with your own uniquely, calling and your purpose that you have.
And jealous people are miserable people.
I mean, they are. They really are. Yeah.
Misery loves company.
It sure does.
But so does joy.
Yo, yeah.
Joy in the fact that, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
God made me a certain way. God made me to do certain things. And I don't have to be jealous of nobody. I can accept the fact that what I have, what God has given me, He can give me wisdom, give me strength on how to be successful, in my life. So, but yeah, this was good.
Yeah, it was. And then the last one is celebrate them and just be genuinely, happy. Yeah, happy for them.
Yeah.
Just be happy for them. Celebrate them.
Right.
And and that breaks the cycle. It will break the cycle of jealousy.
Right.
So that's it. That's it. And before we started taping, we were talking about this song back in the day.
Yeah, Club Nouveau.
Yeah, Jealousy.
That was a jam, man.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I think it came out in 86.
Yeah.
Man, I was 13.
Yeah.
I'm telling my age, but
yeah.
Man,
it came out Jealousy.
Don't want bad talk around
Hey,
me.
yeah.
That was a jam.
Yeah, I mean, and that hit. That really hit.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you this. I feel like we grew up in the best era.
I think so too.
I really do. That was just the best era
Right.
that we could have grown up in.
I think so too. So,
but anyway, we that's all we have for you today. And as we always say at the end of our podcast, allow grace, for someone else. You just never know what their situation is or what they might be going through. So allow grace, for someone else. Make sure that you like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Share this with someone that might need it. And don't be out there trying to share it with someone and you got jealousy, in your heart talking about, hey, you need to hear this, take it up on yourself. Don't be mean to the person that might, you might be sharing it with. But I just wanted to kind of, put that in there. But
right.
We thank y'all so much, for tuning in and listening and viewing this. We are also on Apple Podcasts where you can listen. You can stream and listen, or you can listen to us on Spotify. So any of those platforms, you can watch us or you can listen to us. So we thank you for the opportunity to speak to you, and to hopefully this has actually helped in some way. And so that's all we have for y'all today, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.